Hi friends, welcome to Stamping with Wow. I've created a note card holder using only one 8.5 by 11 sheet of Whisper white paper. I put a sunflower on the front, we have some ribbon, and when it opens up, there's a pocket right here to hold a gift card and some postage stamps, and this area here should hold about 6 cards and envelopes. Let's get started. Celebrate Sunflower series is part of the Flowers for Every Season bundle, but you can also get it for the stamp set and die cut its own bundle. First, we're going to use an 8.5 by 11 Whisper white sheet of paper, 3 pieces of designer series paper. I'm using the Flowers for Every Season paper. 3 at this size is 5 7/8 by 4 5/8. 5 7/8 by 4. 2 1/4 inch square, about a 2-inch square, 1 3/8 by 5 7/8, 2 pieces of 3.5-inch square, 1 piece of cardstock, and 1 piece of vellum. 2 pieces, which are going to measure 5 7/8 by 5/8, and then we're going to need 2 smaller pieces to cover the side of the pocket we created. That is going to measure 1 3/8 by 5/8, and I'll have all these measurements below. So the first cut I'm going to do is at 6 inches. I'm going to put this piece of paper aside because we're still going to use that. And then I'm going to cut it at 10 1/4. And feel free to use this piece of paper for the sentiment. And then we're going to score this one, and we're going to score at 4 3/4. Then we're going to score at 5 1/2. And that's all we're going to do for this piece of paper. That second piece of paper that we set aside, we're going to cut it at 8 inches. This piece we're going to save for an inside pocket to hold a gift card. This piece we're going to score on the long ways at 1/4. And then we're going to score it at 1 inch. Then we're going to turn it 1/4 and 1 inch again. And we're going to repeat that on the other end. We're going to have 1/4 and 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and color in what we're going to cut out. So we're going to cut out this guy, and we're going to cut out this guy. Same on this side. And I'm cutting right on the score line. I'm going to cut this one all the way down, and I'm going to cut in a notch, and then I'll just remove that piece on the score line. And we want to give this side a little notch too. Let's do the same on this side. So I'm going to cut off the pieces I know I want to remove. And then I'm going to come over here and cut. And then I'm going to cut another diagonal. On this piece, get out your bone folder and let's crease those. And we'll give this a good fold. And then we'll bring back that pocket piece so we can crease all those. And one more. And then we're gonna do the same to this bottom piece. And there you have it. Now we're all scored up. Attach all our DSP paper to the covers of our little booklet. 3 largest pieces. So these are our 2 cover pieces. Ink the edges This will definitely make for a nice little gift. You get to have fun creating, and you get to give something handmade to a friend. So we're gonna use the Stampin' Seal, and then we're just gonna go ahead and put adhesive on all this. There we go. And now we're just gonna add our spine. I think one strip right down the center of it should be enough. There we go. Inking the edges again. And we're just gonna put that on the inside cover. So what we wanna do on here is these little 1/4 inch tabs I created. We want to wet adhesive. The stamping seal is gonna be wider than the 1/4 inch. So I'm just gonna pop on the Tombow, and I'm putting it on the tabs. So we're just gonna fold over the tabs. So I'm just holding them for a second so they'll stick. And then I'm gonna line this up and fold down my edges so they're ready to fit right on my card. And I just make sure everything is up to the edge. Then I'm just gonna take my bone folder in there and give those glued edges a good smush. And so there you have the base structure of the note card holder. Here, this piece is 5 7/8 by 4 inches. And we'll just add some Stampin' Seal. And so what we want to do is just line it up where you want it here and press it down. There we go. Then we're gonna glue this other spine piece right in here. So we can add the inside pocket now. All I'm gonna do is score a 1/4 inch on 3 of the sides. You're making a U. So we're just gonna score it a 1/4 inch on 3 of the sides. And then on a pocket, what you do is you just want to cut off those corners, fold your scores down, and then you can take your bone folder and press those down. And I'm just going to glue the edges of the 1/4 inch score we did. Not a whole lot of glue. And I'm just going to eyeball it for the center of the bottom. So probably about 1 inch from the bottom. Now this part of my pocket is open. And that'll be where the gift holder is. We had cut a piece 2 1/4 inch square, and we're just gonna ink that up real quick. Gonna put some Stampin' Seal on there. Going to actually decorate this pocket we created, and it's just gonna go right on top here. And we're just gonna ink the edges. Okay, then we're just gonna glue these on. We can continue using the Stampin' Seal. It's a preference. You're welcome to use Tombow through this all. I'm using Stampin' Seal for time. Then we're just gonna add here. So I'm gonna put some, there we go. And then just these 2 little pieces. And there we have the main project is this. Oh shoot, get out 2 magnets. And let me add some Stampin' Seal. As I've said in other videos, if this is going to a small child, use a different way of adhering it. Either use ribbon, Velcro. We don't want any children following the magnets. So I'm just gonna separate out that Stampin' Seal I used here. Slip my magnet in there. I've become a real pro at modifying my projects for magnets. I pulled up the whole piece of paper since I had used the Stampin' Seal. It was rather easy to do that. And now I can make sure that my magnets are properly aligned. And then I'll just push this back down. I'm just gonna come over and reseal all that stamping seal. And it's kind of lifting right here, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. There you go. Now we're gonna decorate. So I already die cutted out the sunflower. This is a 3.5-inch square of cardstock, just jade, and there's a 3.5-inch square of vellum. And then I stamped on the vellum with the Just Jade ink, and then I had used clear embossing powder. If you want the petals matched up, I just find where these curves are and I match them up like that. And then the rest of the flower pretty much comes together on its own. And we could probably put that flower, well, we'll still leave it over here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna adhere the cardstock onto the piece of vellum. And I'm just gonna use Tombow glue because it's just quicker for me. There we go. And then I'm just gonna put glue on the vellum in the same area that I glued the cardstock, so you won't see any vellum, any glue in my vellum. Then I'm just gonna press it right there. So I have the dark jade stamping blend pen, and I'm gonna use the brush side, and all you have to do with this is just color over it. So I always keep some baby wipes around to clean up. And then I'm just going over the netting, because this is called polka dot tulle. So I go over the tulle and I make sure I go over the white dots. And probably if you give the tulle a little stretch, your white dots won't have white in them afterwards. And I'm only gonna color as much as I need for the bow, and I don't think I need much more than that. So we'll just cut it off right there. And then if I see some white bows where I missed, I'm just gonna come over them again. And then we're gonna flip this and just do it one more time. So how's that for customized ribbon for you? Pretty good, huh? And then we're just gonna tie a bow. I'm gonna make 2 loops. Cross them over through the hole. And with this tool, it kind of scrunches up a little bit, so it holds a tight bow pretty nice. So then I'm just gonna make my little bow pieces even. There we go. And then I'm gonna trim them on the diagonal. You can use Stampin' Seal. I'm gonna use Tombow just for simplicity. Right in there. Let that dry. And on to the sentiment. So this was that piece that we had left over from our 8.5 by 11. And I'm gonna do Let's Celebrate You. I'm gonna try the Just Jade and see how that looks. Hopefully that was wide enough. Oh, that looks great. And then I'm just gonna make this into a banner. So if you can cut straight like that, you can do it, or get out your trimmer, and you cut down the center, and then you cut from either corner to the center of your cut, and you have a banner. And we could put that on some Stampin' Dimensionals. Put that in kind of in our ribbon and on our sunflower, and make sure it's straight. And then all you have to do is then just grab the cards and envelopes and stick them inside. And what a lovely gift you just made for someone. And don't forget to add the gift card and the postage stamps, and then they can start using it right away.